Alright, let's play some Satisfactory. So, I'm currently working on space elevator parts with my manufacturers are in this building, and then I'm expanding over into that building. So, what I'm doing is I've got all of my parts coming into my central storage. I do have dimensional depots, so I can build pretty okay without having to really capture a lot of stuff. But I want to use some of these parts that I'm putting into my central storage. So in central storage, I've got all this. Up top is my dimensional depots, and then down here is just parts. If I go to the front of the building, I have truck stations here. Now I've got 3 in this location. One's buried into this wall. That's where I am dropping off parts. And you see I got some steel pipe coming through here too. So what I'm doing is nothing's going in there, but I've got a mix of stuff coming in here. I'm trying to split this up into a more of a balanced way using belts to get the ratios a little bit closer to what I need to make some space elevator parts. So I've got 3 parts coming in here, and then I have a tractor that comes in here and picks this stuff up. There's also a station at the other end of my central storage, which is here. Same setup as the front, but I only have 2 since I'm only picking up stuff here. So I'm really only taking stuff from this side, which is my industrial encased beams and fuel. And let me just take a quick peek what's in here, because I think I might be bringing too much stuff in here. Oh, what's going on there? All right, what are you dropping off? So I've got some stuff there. See, this is pretty full. Maybe he crashed or something. I don't know. Boom. So I've got a ton of stuff that's already being dropped off in here. I notice now there's no industrial encased beams in here. It's a little bit more than what my belts are able to do, because I'm getting 608 items per minute coming in, but I only have Mark IV belts, so I'm only taking 480 out. So what this does, and I'll get to this other station in a minute, this goes into this whole building, and everything that's coming in is just traveling right along here, okay? So that does split off. I don't know why I have I don't think there's any reason to have this here, this merger. I probably just have it for I don't know why. Let's just remove it. I don't think it really matters. I think I was trying to loop stuff in. Anyway, so this takes all of these parts down and drops them down into the bottom down here. So then it filters through all these different smart splitters into these manufacturers, which are making heavy modular frames. If I had some encased industrial beams, then anything extra that it can't use, it just keeps on filtering down all this overflow until it gets to this end right here. Now I'm doing a little mini conveyor left to get to this merger, which merges in all of the parts that these manufacturers should be making. Then that goes back out along here, all the other extra overflow that the manufacturers can't use, and sends that back to this truck station. So that way this truck station will send back everything that this is not using. I mean, I don't know of a way with this tractor set up, or I haven't figured out a way to make this perfectly balanced. I'm getting it close with all of my parts that are coming through, but I'm not exactly spot on. So now that I have industrial encased beams going in, now it's actually making some of these heavy modular frames. So one thing I'm thinking of doing to help combat this whole balancing issue is to make another manufacturer over here. A whole nother manufacturing building, which I've started from my blueprints for this building. And this one will end up making, I forget, modular engines. Yeah, modular engines. I don't have a computer factory yet, so I can't do the adaptive control units. And yeah, so I'm going to make modular engines that'll go back into my central storage in the same fashion. So what I think that's going to do is it'll limit some of the capacity of the tractor, that it'll balance some of the motors and the rubber and I think smart plating to make those, and it'll put that either into this one truck station, or maybe I'll make another truck station and have that drop off too. I think I'm going to do one, and then I'll have both of these outputs be able to be smart splitted off. Have one go this way to this building for these parts, and one go that way for the other parts. I might need multiple splitters, and then have all of that come back into here just to help with this capacity, because I'm definitely bringing in way too much material. Oh, look, a doggo. Are you a buddy of mine yet? Oh, yeah. What'd you find? Ooh, you found... Oh, spitter remains. Sure, we'll take it. Thanks, buddy. That's Spleens. Okay. Honor of Greystone Blaze. So I've made some improvements to just a couple of things that was actually pretty easy to do. I forgot that you can adjust the time that your tractor or truck or whatever you have will spend at these nodes. And what I was noticing was that if I was only waiting here for like 4 seconds, and a lot of times it wouldn't even stay here long enough for all of this to come out. So I changed these all. This one waits here for 10 seconds for drop off. This one waits for 10 seconds for drop off. Or for pickup, I should say. I don't want to drive you. And now I've got pretty much everything loaded into here. A few things have come in. And right now the numbers are skewed up to 685 because it's catching up on a bunch of stuff. Same thing for stuff coming in. This was up to over 1,000 before, so I think it's averaging stuff out. So all the way down here at my central storage, I've adjusted these two. The drop off here is at 10 seconds. And then this one is, these two pickups are now at a 2-second pickup. And I have plenty of time to sit here and wait longer, just to make sure that this is with the amount before that I was bringing was like 600 and something. So now let me make sure everything got dropped off. All right, I think we're getting balanced well. This is pretty full, but I think it will catch up eventually. Even though it says 707 items per minute being dropped off, I think that's gonna drop down. Now we're gonna pick up everything from here, and I think it's gonna get everything. Yep. A few extra stuff too. This has 615 now out going, but there's space in my the tractor storage crafting bench thing that I have room to put my industrial encased beams in. So I think I may not be getting backlogged up at the top. And my thought was, if I wait for less time down there, then it'll make sure I have enough space for stuff here. So now I've got these loaded in, and I'll have to do the numbers. Actually, what I'll do is just go ahead and take a screenshot if I can. No, I can't. We don't need a chainsaw. Yeah, so 4 seconds here, and I think 4 seconds here. And then once we get all the way back to the top, and we're gonna race. Come on. I can run faster than you still too. Oh, we got some weeds growing through. Oh no, don't run me over. I have been run over by the tractor before. See my lifeless body laying on the road. The victim of AI. Now we're going. All right, Doggo, Lizard Doggo, are you up here? Yeah, you are. You really shouldn't be in the road. Come on now, let's go. What did you find? Ooh, fun. Some obelisks. Thank you. Come on, come on. Get out of the road. Maybe if I go down here, you'll jump. Oh, you're too high now. Oh man, you are gonna get hit. You are gonna... I guess you're faster. Did the tractor crash? Oh, here we go. Let's go. Come on, Lizard Doggo. Don't get run over. Oh my goodness. Oh no. This is not... I can't look. Don't look. Now all this stuff's gonna get loaded up. I did notice the industrial encased beams are being unloaded first from the tractor, or the truck station. And then I get the mix of different things from the splitter setup that I have, or the merger setup I have. So at least I'm getting all of the industrial encased beams. And I did notice, let's see if it's gonna pull all this stuff up, and I'll tell you what I did notice. Yeah, so it did now 443. So now we are below our 480 mark. And this is probably not full. Nice. All right, so we're gonna load you, and you. Go back. We'll keep some concrete, sure, why not? Now, everything's loading in. I do have a bunch of industrial encased beams coming out, since that's the first thing that I'm loading up into this whole plant, because it's the last thing I load from the other one. It's not being mixed. And I think now I'm short on modular frames coming through in here. What do I have over on this side? Right at the minimum I need. But I did see those were in the mix. So I will always have industrial encased beams. And there comes some modular frames. And then I'll have a mix of all my stuff coming out. So it would be nice back in central storage to have all of that go to one truck station as some kind of mix, just to ensure that everything is being put into here. But I don't have the space in the basement of central storage to really make that happen, so I think this is better. I'm gonna let it run for a little while and we'll see how well this balances out. All right, so I think this is working a lot better. I've made a couple of other changes here too, but let me just go through this. It still is bringing in quite a bit, but I think some of this is backed up just because I have been doing some work. So I'll clean this up here in a little bit. And also the outgoing side, that's got stuff coming in through it as well. And I actually really upped the time up here too, so I'm at 20 seconds wait time for each of these truck stations for the drop off and the pickup, just because I've got so much extra time right now and capacity with this setup that I just set that to a little bit higher time just to make sure that this has time to flow out and get through. So I've got this other manufacturing building set up, which is set to make modular engines. And it's all hooked up, it's all configured and ready to go. We have motors, rubber, and, oh, come on now, smart plating, which is for 4 manufacturers. So I'm not making a whole lot, 4 of these per minute, and consuming just a little bit. That's mostly just due to space, like physical space that I have in this whole area. Just pretty constrained here. Wanted to keep it kind of in the middle of all of this stuff. So in order to do this, I had to make this mixer selector kind of bank sorting thing. I don't know what to call it, with all these smart splitters. So everything is still going to come into this one truck station, including the motors, rubber, and smart plating to make my modular engines over there. But in order to do that, I needed to have, the tractor's coming rather. I needed to have this truck station sort out everything appropriately. And what that means is, what I've developed to accommodate that is this bank. So 4 smart splitters here are going to send the parts over to that building needed. And then 3 over here will send the parts needed over to there. I have an overflow set up right here because I was having some issues. And I think it was with my first iteration. I had a longer conveyor belt connecting these splitters to these mergers. And I think it would send like 1 or 2 every once in a while. To spit it out, and I think it was because there was a thing with a splitter where it was like, oh, I got 1 hanging up here still too, so I'm just gonna send it out the way because I can't fit it onto this conveyor. So I made them all the same sizes. The conveyor belts are all the same length, and that seems to be working better. I'm probably still gonna keep this in here, or maybe this last one I'll just set it to anything or not even have a smart splitter, and then it'll overflow that way and come back through here, because it does look a little bit weird. Maybe I'll just make it look nicer, don't know. So I think this is set up and ready to go, and I'm gonna go set up my central storage to deliver some stuff in through this whole mess of stuff. And we'll see if we actually make modular engines. Alright, so now I've got my parts coming into the different truck stations here. Tractor is here. It just spent, I put 20 seconds in here also for the drop off. And then it just picked up some stuff, some motors and smart plating. These are only set to 2 seconds for each of these. And then I have enough room for the stuff down here. What this has is rubber and nothing being delivered on this side still. Then I have rubber along with my encased industrial beams coming into this truck station. So that should fill up. It's not even fully full, which is okay. So what I had to do is I made some changes, and I'll clean up some more of this stuff, but I have my rubber coming out here. So I have fuel, rubber, and plastic all coming via train from Oil City, and that's where I also make some power. And then the byproduct is this fuel and some other stuff too. Well, I guess fuel's not a byproduct, but rubber and plastic is coming out from that. So that's being merged down into here. And then on this side, I had to bring in motors and smart plating. Anyway, I've got parts coming in, and then the tractor just came and picked up some stuff. So let's go see how that looks. And here comes a little tractor that could. See what we're gonna drop off. Let's see what we have in there. Yeah, so we have some parts in there. Ooh, it's getting full. There's a lot of smart plating in there. We'll have to do some balancing, it looks like. But it does wait here for quite some time. Doesn't looks like it keeps unloading things. It was a max, 5 stacks. So, all right, so we are unloading some stuff. Here comes the smart plating. There's some motors, looks like going out that way. There goes our smart plating. And now that's gonna be going right into the whole building. It's going all the way down that way, and it's kind of stuttering. What we got here? Do I have some Mark 1 belts in here or something? Doesn't look like it. Mark 4 is, so smart plating is jammed up here. Which one's smart plating? Rubber, smart plating, overflow, and now it's up this way. Oh, did I not? Maybe I didn't. Did I miss one? Like we got something in there. We got some motors in here. Looks like there's something. I didn't hook that one up. That would be helpful. All right, now it's gonna send that out, so that must mean we are full with motors somewhere. Is it really? I don't smart place. So I think some of that. All right, we're good. Some of that was because I had some stuff. I had that wrong belt in here, so this was stopped up, and there was still some motors and smart plating that were waiting to be put into here. But at least it'll go back into the central storage, and we'll see how this works out. We're still waiting for rubber here. We're still waiting for rubber in general to come in. Anywhere? No rubber at all. So I think that's because this is so full that it can't unload everything that it needs. Let me double check something. Because it's interesting that they're in all four, because it should just split them between these two and prioritize these two machines. But I think that's because I have Mark 1 belts feeding the machine. So let's see what I got over here. Yeah, see, I put Mark 4 belts over here. So I'm going to upgrade those to all Mark 4, just because I bet some rubber came back into here. Yep, just a few. So we will, and that's probably why there's other parts in there too. All right, so these need to be all upgraded to Mark 4 belts, because if you don't, these run slower. So the splitters will think that it's full, and it will send more to overflow, considering it as overflow. Alright, so let's change all that. That. Okay. Now that should run through okay. What do we got here? We got quite a bit of stuff. 836 items coming in per minute. So what I'm going to do is just grab some of this stuff out of here. And I can pop it into this other storage container. Don't need all of that. That way it'll at least unload everything. Okay, hear it coming? Hey, there he is. Alright, what you got for us? There's stuff coming in already. And everything has been removed. Good. So it's got quite a long wait time. 20 seconds here. I just want to let it sit so that it has time for this stuff to load up. So that way it gets a pretty good load. I don't want to drive it. Let's see what's in your crafting thing. Alright, so we got quite a bit. Wow. Why is there so many? Now we're gonna get fueled up, and we're not gonna get very much, but we got some rubber, we got all these other space elevator parts. All right, now it's gonna head back up. All right, while making some progress, I've got some capacity issues getting figured out, and I still have a ton of extra stuff coming in here. Right now it's saying 618 items per minute coming in, which is still too much overall, and then just trying to figure out the balance, tweaking for all of this stuff. So here's what I've done. I've just been cleaning up a mess. So I've got all of this stuff still coming in. This is starting to get caught up, and I've got a little bit coming in through here. I've just really slowed this down. So I have one whole conveyor coming into the top and one coming into the bottom, and then I have these merged together, the steel pipe and modular frames. Now this is a Mark 1 and this is a Mark 2. This used to be like a Mark 3 and this used to be a Mark 3. So I've brought those down, and then this is also now that's a Mark 3 coming in from there because I was getting a lot of concrete. So I've slowed that down. So this is also a Mark 1. So two Mark 1s merged to Mark 1. So getting 60 coming in. And that's all that I'm sending out per minute. So here I've got rubber and encased industrial beams. These are all on a Mark 1 and a Mark 1 and a Mark 1. So I'm getting just 60 in here at the most. And then it's just splitting these evenly, which is pretty close, I think. I think I need 15, 30, I need 60 of these actually if I had everything else going through. But now this is slowed down a little bit. So 104 items coming out from there. I think this is balanced out a little bit better. I'm waiting for it to stabilize some more. I've taken a bunch of stuff out and brought some stuff back down here. So this is all catching up. And I've got a bunch of stuff all the way up here. We'll go this way this time. In here. That's coming through. And then I got a bunch still just waiting here. So it's been quite an experiment, taking longer than I thought it would. But let's see what this is showing here now. So incoming is 561 still per minute. I've got a bunch of pipe. I must have already brought in the rubber and encased beams. That's been my bottleneck, that second one. So this is making some stuff. These last two are not able to get the material. Let's see, is it, yeah, encased industrial beams are the bottleneck. Over here in modular engine, what we got going on here, these are all running, so we got quite a bit of rubber now. All right, that seems to be doing better. So I think I've got it set up where I just would like this really to be under 480. Then I would feel much better about that going. We'll let it run for a little bit. Maybe this item transfer rate will be a lot better. 561, it's too much. Yeah, so now we're down to 473 items per minute. Now I think we're good to go. All right, let's go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play, figuring out tractors and trying some kind of convoluted way to get material up here. It's a balancing game, and I think that it's been interesting and fun for sure.